Hey, what's up? This is the first response to the scripting keyboard shortcut challenge to create a shortcut to open up the energy saver preferences. Yeah, ironically or funnily enough, a new Mac update changed it to battery, so I'll go ahead and do it with the battery settings, but it's kind of the same workflow. There will be other ways to do this, let's say via Alfred in a workflow and a custom setting, but I'm just going to show you how I create shortcuts in a general way for these types of things. Okay, let's just get to it. Obviously, you could use the energy saver shortcut in Alfred, but I'm sure you know that already because you're using Alfred. So basically what I do is, if I want to make a shortcut, I basically search terminal and then whatever action I want to do to make that shortcut. So I went ahead and found that the shortcut for the terminal command to open a preference pane is just to do open and then navigate to the preference pane, which is located in System, Library, Preference Panes, and then you can open them all here. So I'm going to go ahead and just type this in terminal and boom, it works. Now, I did a little bit more research. Let's say you wanted the battery anchor to come up. They're called anchors. I went ahead and figured out how to do that too. And it involves AppleScript. So I Googled some stuff, and basically what I did was went to script editor, and then with the preference pane open, I went ahead and ran this. Basically, it just lists all of the pane IDs, which is battery, security, etc. And then all of the anchors, usage, battery, history. So you can see here, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in Atom so I can look at it better. Okay, so the battery one, let's see. So let's look at the anchors. So anchor is battery pref, usage, adapter, and battery. So let's do this one. So I looked up some more code and found this AppleScript. So basically you put the pane ID, which was found inside of the code we found here whenever we ran that AppleScript code. And then I found this code, reveal anchor usage of the pane ID battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, and then I'll run saver test scripts. Okay, so it's gonna go to usage. I'm gonna go ahead and change usage to battery and see what happens. Okay, I'll run it again. Okay, cool, so it jumped to battery. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I can use Alfred or Better Touch Tool. I kinda like Better Touch Tool better for doing this, but I'll use Alfred. So I'll go to the workflows. I'll do a new workflow, and I'll do blank battery tests. I'd usually put a little icon there, but just for purposes, for going fast. So I'll do triggers, hotkey. You can do a keyword or whatever, but that would be the same thing kinda, but I think you get my point. So I'm gonna do Control Command B, and then I'll do save, and then I'll do actions run AppleScript. So here's where I like Better Touch Tool better because I like to point it to a file, but I'll go ahead and paste it here. Okay, so I'll do save. I'll connect the two, and then I'll do Control Option C. Okay, it's not working, so I'll try a different keyboard shortcut. Just waiting for the siren. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the keyboard shortcut, and then boom, it's gonna open up to the battery. It's gonna open up to the battery anchor in the battery pane. Okay, cool. Now I Googled some more stuff in order to set the time. So I usually have the display sleep to never. So after some Googling, I found that the command is PM set display sleep, and then you can set it to whatever number you want. 0 will set it to never, and then the number will be in minutes. So I'll go ahead and do it in terminal just to do a test. And I'll do PM set display sleep 20, push enter. It says you must run as root, so I'll do sudo PM set display sleep 20, and then I'll go ahead and close this out and then run it again. And you can see now it's 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it again and put it back to 0. Cool, so now it's back to never my original setting. So let's see if this PM set display will work inside of Alfred. So I'm going to go ahead and add this following code, which is do shell script. And then I'll insert my PM code. Okay, so let's see if it works. Okay, so it didn't work in Alfred, so I'm going to try something else. I'm going to try it just in script editor. Okay, so I did some more Googling and I think I found the answer. So I found this code that basically says set this code, the terminal code, to set the display sleep time to 20 to this variable. Then do the shell script with that variable with administrator privileges. So the password window should open up. Let's go ahead and test it out. I'm going to put this to never. I'm going to close it. I'll run the script, put in my password, and then I'll go ahead and do our keyboard shortcut to open the battery pane. And it worked, 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and do it again, and I'll change it to 40 just to test it out. I'll restart the system preferences panel, open it up again, and it should be 40. Yep, that's 40 minutes, really close to the hour. Pretty cool. Now let's put it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and change this and add a variable so you can change it on the fly. So with my code, I'm going to do loop setup. It's a text expansion shortcut that I use, and I'll do how long, set it to a variable, how long, and then I'll change this, how long. So now a window will pop up. So I'll go ahead and I'll run it. So how long, let's do never, so that's 0. One more time, 0. Enter my password. And then I'll reopen the battery pane, and it should be never. It works. So I'll go ahead and paste this inside of the Alfred window. Now here's the code to open it. I'm not sure why you would want to open it. You can have two separate shortcuts if you want to open it just to check, or just to set it separately, but we're going to do it all together in Alfred, see if it works. So I'll go ahead and run the keyboard shortcut. How long, 20, enter my password, and then restart. Okay, it worked. I'll just go ahead and do cancel. I'll kind of show you how I would do it rather than do it in Alfred. I'll actually leave the battery shortcut in Alfred and then put the change display sleep time in another script. So I'll do save, and then I'll change this to change display sleep. And then I would put this script somewhere it could live forever, but for now I'll just keep it on the desktop. I'll go to Better Touch Tool. I'll go to All Apps, Keyboard Shortcuts, +, and do a keyboard shortcut like Command F13, add a trigger, type in AppleScript, do to script file, navigate to the file, and then save it. So I'll do Command F13. I'll do it for 60 minutes, enter my password, and then I'll do Control Option Z. I'm just making up keyboard shortcuts. I have so many that they're all full, and you can see that I went to 60 minutes. So I'll send you the script. Pretty cool, but yeah, takeaway is basically Google how to do something in terminal and then wrap it inside of an AppleScript. And just to follow up, the reason why I like Better Touch Tool better is because I can assign it to a script file. If I wanted to edit the script in Alfred, I'd have to do Command space, Command comma, go to the workflows, type this, go here, double click, and then edit the script. But with Better Touch Tool, all I have to do is display sleep and do Command O, and then I can edit the script here. So if I change it to how long to display. And then the keyboard shortcut is linked to the script file. So I'll just do Command F13 and you can see that it made the change there. So yeah, I hope this helped. If there was anything that was confusing or along the way, I just wanted to show you the process. But thank you so much for submitting a challenge. This was fun. Thanks, talk to you later.